What does it mean for you to be here among some of the nation's elite players?
Yeah, so I thrive for settings like this where you get to compete against the top people in the country, and that's why I'm here, is because I want to test myself and test other people to see, all right, it's survival of the fittest right now. Who's gonna rise to the occasion? Who's not gonna rise to the occasion? So I'm just hoping to go out in the field tomorrow, ball out, and hope all the hard work I've been putting in, it shows.
And now, as far as teams that you've been talking to, obviously it's early in the recruiting process, but what position do you see yourself playing at the next level, and what position are coaches talking to you about based off your size and how much weight you might gain over the next year?
Yeah, so for me, I have really long arms. I measure about like an 80-inch wingspan, but I'm on the shorter side, so I see myself playing at a boundary end outside linebacker position to where third down, they want you pass rushing, but first and second down, they might bring you back, or they might drop you into coverage or things like that. But as of now, my dad's 6'5", so I may grow into the position, but as of now, I see myself as like an outside linebacker, a mix of like a TJ Watt, Hassan Reddick, Khalil Mack, like how they play the position, or Von Miller. That's how I see myself developing at the college level.
Now, I would imagine around Thanksgiving, things get pretty interesting in your household. Florida State game. Kind of tell the fans a little bit about mom and dad and where they each went to school.
Yeah, so my dad went to Florida, my mom went to Florida State. So when I was younger, my dad was kind of on top of me about, hey, Florida. And my mom wasn't as hard on it, but now that I've become a big-time recruit, they're kind of all Team Jake. They're not really like, oh, you want to go see Florida, you want to go see Florida State. But it was definitely intense in the household whenever Thanksgiving came around for that game.
And now, as far as Florida goes, kind of, how are things going with Coach Napier and Coach Armstrong and some of those guys? What's your relationship like with those guys?
Yeah, so they recently offered me. They're one of the newest schools to hop in, but they've been hitting me up a lot. Coach Larry Williams and Coach Peterson have definitely been texting my line a lot. They send me a bunch of mail. I've probably gotten like 30, 40 letters from them, but yeah, they've definitely, like, now, because they are late in the recruitment offer-wise, they just started hopping in. They've been definitely doing their diligence to try to hop in and get on the board with me, which is working.
And what does it mean for you to have a guy like Mike Peterson, obviously played at Florida, now he's a coach there? Is there any significance as far as that goes from a guy that, can look to you and say, look, I've been here, I've done this is what I want to kind of do for you?
Yeah, so as far as a position coach, what I'm looking for is a guy who can develop me, and I see that he can develop me when I'm in the position room, because that's my favorite part of coming on campus, getting in the position room, seeing how the coach coaches and seeing how I would fit in their room, and I think Coach Peterson does a really good job of that.
And then do you have plans this fall to get to games? Do you know which teams you want to try to go check out to see some games unofficially?
I don't know exactly what teams I'm going to go check out, but I definitely do want to get to a lot of games this fall, so I'll definitely be getting around.
And if things go perfectly for you as far as timeline, when would you ideally like to make a decision?
I'd like to commit after I take my official visits. I feel like that's the timeline for me that I want to take.